What is going on, guys? This is Miasin. So we just got a new wave of support for the Testina archetype in Age of Overlord, which in case you didn't know is a TCG exclusive that I believe debuted in Duelist Nexus, but the first wave of support was absolute dog shit, so there really wasn't much to talk about, so hopefully the second wave is better. We never know. Anyways, before this video starts, you already know the drill. Friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. My man, I really appreciate you. By the way, there are some new cards, of course, that are announced again as TCG exclusives in Age of Overlord, but I don't know if I can make a video on them because they might be leaks, and if I do that, I might get banned. I don't even know anything because I don't know what is considered a leak, and I don't know what is considered, like, something that you can talk about. I know nothing. I'm stupid. Anyways, the first card is Fallen of the Testina. Level 1 Water Aqua, very beautiful stats. Yeah, okay. You can send this card from your hand or face of field to the grave. Place one Divine Domain Bastistina. Jesus, what the hell is this? That's the field spell, by the way, which is not like a Union Hanger or Trickstar Light Stage. It doesn't search on activation. Yeah, I know. Anyways, from your deck, face up in your field zone. If a face-up Testina spell or trap card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, my bad, even worse than I thought. While this card is in your grave, except during the damage step, you can banish this card. Special summon one light Testina monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. Yeah, so in other words, this card sucks, because it's just another terraforming for a field spell that sucks ass. It does nothing going first, actually. The field spell is only really good going second if your opponent controls 3 or more face-up cards. Otherwise, all the field spell really does is like a Foolish Burial. And then it has an effect when like it's destroyed by a card effect, you get to summon a Testina monster from your deck or grave. And then this also makes you like summon a Testina monster from your hand, deck, or grave. But like, it doesn't matter because if your opponent Cosmic Cyclones your field spell, you lose the game. And then, like, yeah, so it's like, it's not good. Like, nobody's gonna cite, like, Duster or Lightning Storm against this deck because they're gonna float a lot, and, yeah, just don't be stupid, basically. Yeah, I'm telling Yu-Gi-Oh! Players to not be stupid. Wait, hold on, I can actually tell this to myself. Anyways, Return of the Testina, level 2 Fire Aqua effect. Beautiful stats again. My first reflex is, first of all, it's a Fire Aqua, so WTF, thinking. But also, it's a level 2 Aqua, so yeah, you can make Toad with it. Everything else doesn't matter. Anyways, if this card is in your hand... Holy shit, I'm gonna die. If this card is in your hand, you can target one Testina monster you control except itself. Special summon this card, and if you do, this is where it becomes really mindfuck. Its level becomes the targeted monster's level, so the level of this monster becomes the level of the monster that you targeted on your field. So in other words, it sucks because it should have been the other way around so that the monster that you're targeting becomes level 2 because this is level 2 and then you can make Toad. But no, you can't do that, unfortunately. So the only good play with this card is dead. Yes. Anyways, it gets worse. If this card is in your grave, you can target one Aqua Xyz monster you control. Again, thinking. Attach this card to it as a material. You can only use each effect once per turn. Oh no! yeah, I just find it funny when a card is like really bad, and then on top of that, it's like once per turn. But it's okay. It's fine. It's all good it's all good in the hood. So far, I don't think this deck has like any good like Stratos or something. I mean, yeah, Demigod is like kind of like a searcher, and I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, actually. Oh, no, actually, no, sorry, I lied. Sentinel of the Testina is a monster that can search a Testina card from your deck to your hand, but it's not like on normal or special summon. It's like, you can target one Testina monster or one face-down card you control, destroy it, then search a Testina card from your deck to your hand. So yeah, in other words, it is complete trash. Yeah, it's like you always have to go through several steps just to search a card. Like, that's just so pathetic. Like, it would be nice to have, like, a card that just searches for free, doing nothing. But again, that's too much to ask, Bernard. Anyways, Tainted of the Testina. Hopefully this card is better because, yo, I'm losing too many brain cells. By the way, I'm pretty sure there's like a monster for each level. There's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's like, yeah, I don't think there's any 6, 7, 8, or 9. But there's 2 level 10s. Anyways, so this card has 2000 attack, 0 defense, level 5, so you better believe I'm playing this in Cyber Dragon. Haha, I'm just kidding. You can tribute this card by you can tribute summon this card face up by tributing one face down monster your opponent controls. See, this is actually very interesting. I could almost consider this card to be like a side deck card against, like, I don't know, in the future, if there's ever like a deck that just summons face down monsters that are dangerous. Like, this card would be, unironically, not too bad against Subterror. The deck sucks, so it's not like we really have to talk about it. But yeah, this is very funny, but it doesn't make it good. I guess with Book of Moon and Book of Eclipse, it's actually very interesting, because that's the theme of the deck. You're always trying to eclipse your opponent's board. but it's again very fragile. Anyways, this card's level becomes 10 if it was normal summoned or set. Very interesting again. If this card is sent to the graveyard except from the field, which completely defeats the purpose, you can target one Testina monster you control. This turn, it can make a second attack during each battle phase, even if it's like a direct attack. So I actually like that. Also, you can only attack with one monster. That's not the end of the world. So yeah, this card's definitely one of the more interesting cards I've read today. But again, it's not good enough. I'm not a big fan. Definitely could have been much better. One thing that I do have to say, though, is that it reads if this card is sent to the graveyard except from the field. So if it is a level 10 monster, and you use it for a rank 10 monster, and then you detach it as a material, it is not being sent from the field to the grave. That way you can still target your Testina monster, and it can still attack directly. So that's actually very interesting, because the next card is a rank 10 Testina monster that you can definitely make with this card. And it has 2000 attack, but this might be more relevant than you think. Anyways, Testina, the divinity that defies darkness. So obviously the name is very nice. So I'm gonna have to give a huge kudos to Konami for always figuring out some pretty sick names for these Testina monsters. We've got like a demigod, a crystal god. Pretty freaking badass. Anyways, rank 10, 2000 attack, 3000 defense, 2 level 10s, pretty generic. If this card is special summoned, you can send all face down cards your opponent controls to the graveyard. I feel like this already makes this card incredibly good, because first of all, it's on special summon, not on XC summon. So if you properly summon this card once, you can keep reviving it back from the grave, and you're always going to be sending every face down card your opponent controls to the grave. If you can find a way somehow to summon this on your opponent's end phase when you're playing against Labyrinth, I feel like you just win the game on the spot, and you're also not destroying your sending, so you're also bypassing Lord of the Heavenly Prison. I seriously like this card already, because again, it's generic and it has a great effect. But it gets better. You can only use this effect of Testina, the divinity that defies darkness, once per turn. Once per turn, if this card has Crystal God Testina as a material, you can detach one material from this card. It gains 2000 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. This card is going to gain 2000 attack, which makes it go to 4k. And then with the effect of this, when it's sent to the graveyard except from the field, so again, as a material, you can target your Testina monster, can make a second attack. And because you're the fact that you're sending a bunch of cards your opponent controls, you're gonna have probably a 4000 attack beater that can attack twice for 8k, and just like that, you can kill your opponent. So I definitely see what you're doing, Konami. This is very clever, and I like it, actually. Anyways, if this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card, while it has materials, well, it has a material, I guess, or materials, you can special summon one Testina monster from your grave. Ah, so in other words, you can revive itself back right away. That's very interesting, because it didn't say except itself. So yeah, again, you can trigger the first effect off of the last effect if this card is destroyed by an opponent's card. My issue is that it always has to be destroyed by an opponent's card. Everything in this archetype is always the same freaking thing, and it's really just annoying. Like, look at this, man. If a face-up Testina spell or trap you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, it would be so nice if you could trigger your own effects proactively without having to rely on your opponent, because if your opponent is sending your cards, or banishing your cards, or bouncing back your cards, or sending, yeah, again, it's not gonna do anything. Again, kind of problematic, but whatever, it is what it is. It's just the second wave of support. Hopefully there's more coming down the line. But yeah, now we've got play of the Testina quick play spell card. Special summon one Testina monster from behind your grave in defense, doesn't negate the effect, but return it to the hand during the end phase. I don't know if I'm a really big fan, but again, like, if we had a Stratos on summon, like a card that searches when it's normal or special, they would be so much better, but every single card that summons, that searches, is just not good enough. Like, yeah, it doesn't really do, like, this card will never make you go +1, realistically. I mean, unless you're using this on your own turn, but like, if you can use this on your opponent's turn to revive back the Xyz, then obviously it can be really nice, so that's not too bad, but again, not the greatest. You can only activate one card with this card's once per turn. Alright. Embrace of the Testina continuous trap card. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you can target that monster, change it to face down defense. Yeah, that's a Book of Moon with more steps. During the end phase, you can target one face down position monster you control, your opponent controls, sorry. Take control of that monster. You can only use each effect once per turn, and can only activate these effects while you control a Testina monster with 3000 or more defense. Oh my god. This would have been so much better if you didn't need, very specifically, a big booty Testina monster to use these effects. Like, if it was just, like, if you control any Testina monster, you can use these effects, sure. And even then, like, this is way too slow. Like, we've got a Book of Moon, and, like, an end phase change of heart that's like way too slow. This card could have like not even have the drawback and it would still be a completely fair card. It's a trap card that's way too slow. Like, again, it's a worse Book of Moon for the first effect and it's a worse change of heart for the second effect. And it still requires you to have a big-ass Testina monster. So if you can't get your hands on a big Testina monster, this card does nothing. Again, like, my issue with this archetype is the same. It's the same that it's been, like, since day one, actually. But anyways, we've got one final card. Hopefully, it doesn't disappoint. Discordance of the Testina normal trap card. Activate one of these effects. If you control a Testina monster, banish one card from your opponent's graveyard face down. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. If you control a Testina monster, special summon from the extra deck, banish all cards from your opponent's graveyard face down. There we go. Alright, for once, I can't be a hater anymore. This effect is just a game-ending effect. If you can resolve this while you control the big Xyz monster that we've already said is extremely good, this effect makes you insta-win the game. So yeah, this is actually extremely broken. If you can banish every single card in your opponent's graveyard face down, oh my god. I can't really think of like any deck that can recover from this. And again, banish his face down, like, oh, that's such a disgusting mechanic. Yeah, it's definitely really nasty. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, this is already good enough for me, but it gets better. You can banish this card from your grave, then target one Testina monster in your grave, add it to your hand. Nice, nice, okay, nice. Okay, so it took a normal trap card for this deck to finally start becoming serious. You can only, one Discordance, I guess it's use or activate. You can only use one Discordance, one effect of Discordance of the Testina effect per turn, and only once that turn. Alright, that's not the end of the world. So you have Recursion in the graveyard, which is always cool. And then you have a mass banish for everything in your opponent's graveyard face down. Against Tier Elements, this card is just a game-ending card on its own. Against a bunch of things, this just makes you win the game immediately. Imagine against Inferno, it's banishing everything face down. Like, even if they have the big-ass barrel from a different dimension, it doesn't matter. So yeah, new support Inferno, it still loses to this. Not too bad, not too bad. I'm definitely a big fan. So this card has to be like a solid 8.5 out of 10 maybe for me, because it has two effects that both help you out. But again, it's a trap card, and it does require you to control a Testina monster special summon from the extra deck for the good effect. So if there was like a Testina Link 1, then this card would be like a 20 out of 10. But yeah, no, for sure, in the future, I might change my mind on a few of these cards. But for now, honestly, outside of the stupid rank 10 monster and this trap card, I'm just not really impressed by anything I'm seeing. This is just way too slow, especially for an archetype created in almost 2024. It's just not good enough. Anyways, that's all I had for this video. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts about these new Testina cards in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.